when you're looking for a relationship, don't rush into bed. Everybody's humping so fast that you run right past the red flags. Let me say that again. Everybody's humping so fast that they're running past the red flags. And when you run past the red flags, then you complain. You would have saw it in the beginning if you would have opened your eyes.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. They call me Q the Boss. Oh, we got some fun today, guys. Today's episode is Are You Even Worth It? I'm asking that question today. Are you even worth it? And the reason why I'm asking that question, because I think a lot of people overvalue themselves when it comes to dating. I think a lot of people, whether male or female, believe that they're more significant in the dating world or more valuable in the dating world than actually they are. We must establish something. There is something called self-value, which a person has a right to believe they're whatever they want to believe. But when it comes to the dating world, most people won't pay what most people think that they're worth. And sometimes people stay single because they think they're worth more than what they're actually worth, because people can only sell what people are willing to pay for. Let me say that again. You can only sell what people are willing to pay for. So reality is you could believe that you're a 10. It doesn't matter. That's what you think. God bless you. But in reality, the dating market don't see you as a 10. You could think you're the illest man on earth, but the dating market don't see you as that. So therefore, you have to accept the fact that you may be a little delusional. And that's the issue what you're seeing now. More people are actually delusional when it comes to them actually stepping out in the dating world. Some people will never, ever, ever, ever get pursuers because they block away the actual people that should be pursuing them. Some people think that this person exists that's looking for them, but that doesn't even exist. To be an older person and still believing that this magical person exists and they looking for you, you crazy. And you got to be crazy. But the question we ask today, are you even worth it? Some people aren't even worth the investment. Some people aren't even worth your time. I like to go on record and say this, and I'm going to get straight to the point. I think no man should ever get in a relationship until he has his life together. And the reason why I say that is because expectations come from an extreme when a man gets into a relationship. You shouldn't be the guy crying about Valentine's Day when you know for a fact that you're in a relationship. You shouldn't be the guy crying about your girlfriend's birthday when you know you're in a relationship. A lot of women do have materialistic expectations in relationships when it comes from the man's end. A lot of women do have materialistic expectations when it comes to a man and being in a relationship with a man. A lot of women don't spend the money that they expect a man to spend on them. When you say this, some women get offended, but this is a reality. A lot of women do not, and I say this again, do not expect to spend the same amount of money on a man the way the man is expected to spend on them. There is a lot of double-edged swords in dating and being in relationships. Someone said they do. Call in right now, Leon, at 516-253. I want to hear this. 1150, 516-253-1150. I want to hear this. I would like to hear a woman tell me she spent her money like that and mean it and be honest with herself, because it's actually a rarity. And if that's true, you're the exception to the rule, because most women do not spend money on men the way they expect men to spend on them. Most women actually like celebrating holidays because they get the better gifts. Let me say that again. You heard that? Most women like to celebrate holidays because they expect better gifts. If a woman is expected to spend $200 or $300, most men expected to spend $1,000. If she spend, you got to spend more. And that's just the reality in most situations. Whoever say no, they're lying. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be fair. But I'm asking this question today, guys. What makes you worth the investment? Everyone has to establish this. All you got to do is call a number in 516-253-1150. The same way you'll call a regular number. Call in right now. 516. Someone actually pin the number real fast for me. 516-253-1150. Yeah, but again, A lot of people pretend as if they have the same expectations as a man and a woman, but in reality, there are more expectations, right? Someone post the number again, please. But again, we have these conversations and we got to be fair. I think a lot of people are actually not worth the investment these days because a lot of people are more selfish than ever. And with being selfish, it tends to make you believe that you're more valuable than you actually are. Most people actually have a "what have you done for me lately" mentality, and they expect things that are unrealistic. The other day I had a conversation with a female, and she got a little offended when I said to her, the reason why you're single is because you expect a man to do the role of a father that you didn't have. And a lot of the times these men are overcompensated, meaning their mothers do so much that they expect the women to do so much. And that's what you're seeing in today's society. You see more women who literally expect their fathers out of the men. And then you're starting to see a lot of men who are literally still trying to be coddled like their mother who overbabied them. And that's a major dilemma. A lot of men don't want to level up and be grown. A lot of women actually want a man to be a father. Whoever created this statement, a man is supposed to love you like your father did, that's cap. I don't think a man could ever love my daughters as much as me. I don't think that's possible. I don't think a good parent, I don't think a woman could ever love me as much as my mother. So when I hear that, whoever created that statement, y'all gotta stop being weird. A man ain't supposed to love you like your father. Your father's your father. And your father's love is unconditional. A man will love you conditionally. I'm gonna be honest with you, and a woman will love you conditionally. Because the moment you can't produce certain aspects of life, of course things are gonna change, right? I'm gonna say this, Valentine's Day spending in 2026, it is projected to hit a record $29.1 billion in the US, driven by the average of nearly $200 per person. Notes the National Retail Federation. This marketing is a significant increase from 2025's $27.5 billion. It is driven by a higher income, consumer spending on jewelry and dining with popular gifts including candy, greeting cards, and flowers. And this is what you see now. You see more people who believe that one day means more than the totality of a relationship. I would never date somebody, I want to say this on record, if a person believes that I'm not a good man because I don't go above and beyond for holidays, then I guess I don't need to be with that person. I'm gonna say that again. I don't believe, if a person believes what makes me a good man is based on how much money I spend on that woman, that's a level of diabolical. It's not about how I protect, how I keep the security, and I get up and bust my behind every day. I wouldn't even want to entertain a woman like that. I think that's very, very weird. Because in reality, you want a holiday to determine the totality of how great your relationship is. I find that to be delusional and foolish. I'm not gonna look at a woman, if she tells me, Q, I didn't get you nothing for Valentine's Day, I wouldn't get upset. I wouldn't get upset. But I will get upset if my woman is not investing in retirement, because my goal is to make sure that me and her can retire. My goal is to make sure how we live when we're older, when we can't work hard anymore. Because the thing about that is you can't go back in time, and now when you go back in time, you'll be able to live from the moments that you wasted. All that money that you wasted while you was young, you're gonna pay for it when you're old. You can put it in the couch, on the side of the couch, right? And you're gonna waste all that time and realize damn, look at me now, right? But again, you have to have these conversations when you're talking to people. A lot of people are so weird. And the society has created this mentality, and the reason why it's created this mentality is because people are insecure with themselves, right? I don't know how to create this narrative or break this narrative when people are learning how to date from people that aren't even dateable. People are learning how to be married who aren't even married. People are learning how to be parents from people who are bad parents. People are learning how to maintain life from people who barely knew how to maintain their own life. Everyone is getting advice from people that don't have the receipts that they actually talk about. Most people project. Like I was telling my team the other day, we was having a conversation. I said, the one thing I've learned is anytime somebody first words of reference of anything is negative, is because they're projecting. I'm gonna call it what it is. There might be a level of insecurity within that person. Because there's no way I could be a part of a situation and the first thing I'm gonna do is talk negative about a situation that I'm a part of. It don't make sense. And then all the time, repetitionally, that means you're projecting. It's just clear as evidence. Like when you talk to a woman and she says, men ain't crap, that she's projecting. Because maybe she's been hurt too much. When a man talks bad about women, right? Someone said I called. Yeah, I went it. Voicemail? Give it 2 seconds. 2 seconds. But again, when you have these conversations, a lot of people get so defensive. I've learned that the most defensive people are the most insecure people. The most logical people are the people you can have the best conversations with. I love having logical conversations. I think there are logical men, and I think there are logical women these days. And I think there are a lot of men that aren't logical anymore, and I think there are a lot of women that are logical. It's starting to become such a foreign thing to this point where people are just mostly based. They're just so emotionally. And this is the issue. Our culture is so weird these days. But again, we have to allow it to be what it is, because if you don't acknowledge the weirdness or the elephant in the room, the elephant only gets bigger. And right now, the elephant is getting so big in the culture to the point where the ignorance is starting to stand out like crazy, to the point where even people that are black are getting fatigued with it. They're getting fatigued with it. They're getting tired of the ignorance. I'm tired of the ignorance. I'm tired of broke people fighting against broke people crying about the money that they never had. Let me say this, ladies, and I want y'all to hear this good. And I'm gonna look at the camera really well with this. It takes an absolute fool to believe that going 50 with somebody is a bad thing. You gotta be like a fool. Like it has to be like, you gotta be slow. Cause you pay $100 in bills, I say I'm gonna cut that in half and pay 50 of it. Isn't that great? Wow. I don't understand why people think like that. Because again, we're in a society where everything is more expensive. So if a man and a woman come together and they go 50-50 and they doing what they gotta do, as long as he's going 50-50 with the responsibilities in that house also. Let me say that again. It is okay for a man to go 50-50 with a woman if a man is going 50-50 with the house responsibilities. Because what I'm hearing is a partnership. I'm not hearing, if a man is paying the bulk of the bills, I can understand why he's more tired, because he's working more. But if a man and a woman are going 50-50, I think it's only fair that he goes 50-50 with the household responsibilities also. We're just talking logical. And I think that more people will actually get a situation like that they're gonna get somebody that's gonna come and pay all your bills for you. There are people who are waking up 65 years old, single as hell, because of the fact that they still not realizing that this was an unrealistic expectation to ask from somebody. Your father didn't pay all your bills. Your biological father didn't pay all your bills. And you still expect a man to pay all your bills or a woman to pay all your bills? This is why we're losing as a culture, because people realize, they're not realizing that this is not reality. There aren't too many people that can afford to pay everything for themselves. And if they do, they have to live very, 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 very under the radar. They don't live the extreme life. You want a person who has a house, a car, a this or that, that person is gonna be extremely, very selective with who he chooses. And believe you me, that is far and few. Just like there's far and few women who could pay all their bills and live by themselves if they don't have a very small situation. You're not gonna find too many women in a mansion who has a Ferrari, who can fly a man out to go see him. You ain't gonna find too many women like that. You're not gonna find too many women who has a Ferrari, a mansion, who can fly a man out anytime she feels like it and can take over work whenever she feels like it and live her best life. That's few and far. And if a person is projecting that lie, it's capped. If you think that's most of society, then you're a little slow. You're a little slow. Most men don't have mansions and Ferraris and can fly a woman out whenever he feels like and going on trips. That's not reality. Most people are struggling in sustaining their lives, and it would be easier for two people struggling to come together. Two people struggling together actually creates a healthier situation. Caller, you can call in right now. Call that number again right now. But what I'm saying is there are more people, they're foolish with their ideology. They're worried about all the wrong things. And this is why we have so many people who's either A, gonna die alone, or B, never build any wealth. Because again, these people sit there and say stuff like, I'm gonna meet this person that's gonna take care of me. And this is why we have a problem. Why do we care about what someone else did wrong when we're about to do the same thing wrong? We're repeating the same cycles. There are a lot of people, men and women, who are waking up older and wish they would have listened a little bit more. Wish they was a little bit more humble. Let me say that again. There are a lot of people who are getting older, right? And they're literally about to say to themselves, yo, I wasted mad years of my life. And then you see the bitter mad woman or the bitter mad dad or man walking around here because they played themselves. They fed into the delusion of society, right? And didn't look at the realities of society. And this is a harsh reality. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
So
This is my first time. I just happened to turn on TikTok and I heard you speaking.
Okay.
And
so I saw that you said in the comments.
You threw the rock in my house. So
I had to.
What was your question?
I see in the comments that you said you a trick. You like to spend some money.
No.
No. But you said that you spent money on your man?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just say hypothetically, it's a Christmas. Who's expected to spend more money, you or him?
Neither one of us.
I like it. So keep going. Elaborate on this. I'm liking where we're going with this.
Okay, so I came in on the back end of the conversation. And I was like, oh, hit dog's house. I'm out.
I'm hearing it.
Actually, true story.
Mm-hmm.
I met this man, and Valentine's Day is his actual birthday.
Okay.
We were both previously married. We're divorced now.
Okay.
Well, we were married to separate other people.
Okay.
So his birthday comes up, and I'm like, what you gonna do for your birthday? And he's like, oh, no, nothing. I don't never celebrate my birthday. And I'm like, what? Why?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, because my birthday's on Valentine's Day.
Mm.
I'm like, what does that mean? What's Valentine's Day?
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a relationship with somebody and you love them the same way people love on that one day out of 365 days in a year,
okay,
Valentine's Day means nothing.
100%.
Those are my exact words to him. That's what I believe, and that's what I teach my boys, especially, and I teach my daughters the same thing. I just had a conversation with my son yesterday. He was stressed about going to get his check, and he was trying to do this and trying to do that. I'm like, wait, why are you stressed about money for? You're only 18 years old.
That is crazy.
I'm about to go to the store and get some what?
Mm.
I said, you know what? I don't even want to know what you're going to the store for. But when you get to that store, everything that you buy it for yourself. But you not buy nobody no gift.
You know why you feel like that though, right?
I know why he feels like that.
Somebody materialistic mama done raised their materialistic daughter to believe that he has to spend that materialistic money on her.
His father taught him that because his dad used to spend money on me like that.
Yeah, but that's not love.
So the pressure of he feels like social media and what he saw his dad do. And I'm not into stuff like that. His dad is. So when I wouldn't boast and post and do all this because you got me this and go show everybody that, his dad would actually get upset.
Wow.
I teach my boys.
I see that a lot with the young men nowadays. They spend so much money.
You need that's your check. You're only 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The check ain't that big. Mm. So if you want to get something for your little sister, that's okay.
100%.
A little something. Don't blow your whole check or half of your check on your sister. Get her a rose. If that's what you want to do for your little sister, then you go ahead on and do that.
That makes a lot of sense.
But when you get to that store, you spend your check on you.
Yes.
Because the love comes from action, not money. I call my son in here right now. He'll tell you. That's exactly what I told him. If you show up for people that you love every single day, and when it means something, when they're sick, when they need you to bathe them, when they need you to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because they stuck somewhere, or when they're in trouble at 2 a.m., you got to go to work at 4 a.m. And if you show up, that's what they're going to remember.
100%
you don't
facts.
spend your $1,000 on one day.
I agree 100%.
So actually, so yesterday, I made reservations for my fiance for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
At a restaurant. I did it a month in advance.
Okay.
And then he calls me and I'm like, I'm going to tell him. His favorite restaurant. He only goes, he's only been to this restaurant twice. And
okay.
That's because I took it.
Okay.
I made reservations, favorite steakhouse, we going to go there. Didn't tell him. I said, I'm going to wait till Valentine's Day to tell him. I'm not worried about Valentine's Day. I got the man I want, and I got the man that thinks with his head being into sex and all that. We on the same path.
I like
and
this.
We don't live in the same house. We're not living in the same house until we get married.
Wow.
Because when we go home, we're going home to one house.
Which I built.
A house that I previously lived in with somebody else.
Yes.
We living in a house, we're starting over. So we don't live. So he goes, okay, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to do this and do that. And I actually called and made reservations. We got a reservation for 11 a.m. At this particular restaurant. And I said, wow. Wow, are you serious? He was like, yes. That's all the spots they had left. They're all over. All the others were booked up.
Okay.
And I said, actually, we can go do what you want to do for me, because I like to go on nature walks and stuff. I said, how about this? I can sleep in just a little bit longer. Don't worry about that reservation, because we have reservations at that same spot for 3.
Wow.
3 o'clock. He was like, are you serious? I was like, yes.
Wow.
So we think, that's how we think. So I found my person.
See, I love her. Guys, let me give it up for her. She's amazing. Like, she's logical as hell. She is so logical. Like, you have a very logical, me and you can go all day. But I gotta let somebody else call in. Listen, I love you. Stay in tune. We might get you back on the phone and talk again. Nah, I love her. I love her. She's actually very logical. Give it to her again. Very, very logical woman. Listen, a lot of people nowadays, they don't believe in sharing. So this is the issue we have today. You have people that are very selfish. And you know what's scary? When you do hear a lot of these young men, they believe that they got to meet these little materialistic girls who come from their materialistic mothers, and they got to give all their little resources. And then these little young men never build anything. Leon, I appreciate you more. They don't build anything because somebody told them that you're not men unless you can give a lifestyle that their daddy didn't even give them. A lifestyle that they can't even give themselves. I can't understand why a woman who comes from a certain level of life has certain expectations. But it's scary when a woman who don't come from anything act like she's always had everything. And then they expect you to give them everything. I think that's scary as hell. Let me say that one more time. It's scary when you meet a woman who comes from absolutely nothing, who act like she had everything and expects you to give her everything when she can't even give herself everything. I think that's scary as hell. That's where delusion kicks in. And that's what you see more today in society, where people believe that they're supposed to be given things. Sounds like a narcissist to me. One of the number one traits of a narcissist is very entitled. Very entitled, right? But again, what are you gonna say to someone with this mentality? You can't fight with somebody for believing that they're deserving of something that they never even worked for. The question I ask everybody is, are you even worth it? There are people that genuinely believe you're not worth the headaches. You're not worth depression. You're not worth stress. You're not worth me trying to prove myself when I already proved myself to society as a man. And nor is a woman, in most cases, is a man worth her even going above and beyond for him. Today, you got to prove to society that you're even worth a person even entertaining you. I do believe that people overvalue themselves, again, based on what they built in their head. It's scary when you meet somebody that tells you, and I'm going to keep it real with you, and I'm going to say this right now to you guys, in most cases, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to have a child and then talk about you're going to meet another dude and now you're a born-again virgin and you got to wait. In most cases, that ain't happening. Let me say that again. It is rare as hell for a woman to go back in the dating world after having sex and talking about she's going to wait until she get married. Most guys ain't going to respect that. Every time your child walk in the room, he going to be like, you already did the do and you did it without being married. And most men are not going to subscribe to that. And I'm just telling y'all, so if you think you're going to try that with most men, you're foolish as hell. Well, God, I'm going to wait on God, then you're going to wait till you get to heaven and meet God then. Because most men ain't going to do that. Most men are not going to do that. And I'm just being fair. Most men are not going to purchase a car without test driving it. They're not. And I'm just being fair to my ladies. But if you believe otherwise, you can try it. And I'm telling you, when that man steps outside you, you're going to be like, well, I'm worth it. Everybody think they're worth something until they realize they're not worth it what they thought they was worth, whether male or female. There are a lot of men right now who believe that they're more valuable than what they are when it comes to women. There are men that's still very financially codependent on their mothers. There are men who are financially codependent on their living situations of somebody else. A man has to build. Every time I see a family in poverty or stress, I look at the man. Every time I walk into a house and the house is dirty, I look at the woman. Let me say that again. If I walk into your house and your lights is off, I'm looking at the man. But if I walk into a house and the house is dirty, I'm definitely looking at the woman. And somebody can say, well, my house is dirty. But that's on you. But that's what most people in society is definitely going to look at it like that. Someone call in 516-253-1150. One more time, 516-253-1150. I'm asking the question, are you even worth it? And again, we believe that we have to meet certain level of requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, I want my men to hear this really well. When a woman sees you as the king that you are, you don't have to prove to be the king that you are. It's when a person respects you the same way they're going to respect you. You don't have to make someone respect you. You can't make someone respect you, right? But again, you can and you will be seen by the person that's meant to see you. A lot of people are in the dark with the lights out and they looking for somebody that don't even exist. They're in a room with the lights out, pitch black in the dark, and they think they're going to find somebody because they don't realize they are the darkness, their mentality. Let me say that again. There are a lot of people in the dating world that are in a room in the darkness looking for people, but don't realize that darkness is their mentality. It's how they view the dating world. They view it wrong. I do believe that a lot of women friend zone their husband. At one point, that guy that could have been that man to you, a lot of women put them in the friend zone. He was too nice. How do you help? Ladies, I'm lost. Listen to this. How do you say somebody's too nice? Like, that mean you want somebody too bad? Like, it don't make no goddamn sense when I hear that. Let me say that again. There are women that say a guy is too nice, but it seems like a lot of women want a man that's too bad. Like you are attracted to toxic behavior. This is why you have toxic relationships. There's a lot of people that are very toxic in the dating world, and they look for toxic people because they bond over their traumas. And then they don't realize that the issue is not the relationship. The issue is the two people that's entering the relationship. Relationships aren't bad. It's the people that are getting into relationships that are bad. Guns are not bad. It's the people that have guns that make guns bad. Right? It's just what it is. So when you have these conversations, a lot of people get offended over truth. They get defensive. Life has rules. And understanding by having rules, we have to apply ourselves to the rules so therefore we can educate our own selves and learn how to be dateable. A lot of people that aren't good dateable, they're not good being coachable. Great coachable people are the best dateable people. Coachable people are very humble and like to learn. Whether male or female, when a man thinks he knows it all, he is diabolical. When a woman thinks she knows it all, she is diabolical. A great human is a human that is honest with himself and they're comfortable with being themselves, ultimately allowing themselves to go into a relationship to learn. Because when you get into a relationship, the one thing you have to acknowledge is I have to learn how to love this person that I'm dating. I can't love them like my ex and expect to get better results than my ex. Look at that though. How you gonna date the way you dated your ex and expect to have better results? You ever met somebody that says, yo, when I get into this next relationship, I don't care what nobody say, I'm gonna be this way? And again, this is a mentality. It's a mentality. You going into a relationship with bad rapport, bad thinking, bad everything. Toxic, right? Somebody said, some women today won't submit. They want control. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And this is me being fair. Want me to read the beginning? Read the beginning, Tyler. I'm gonna let Tyler read this.
Okay, so just trying to understand, she said some men, I think she's talking about you, some men just be talking and making up stuff.
Okay.
And BCJ says some women today won't submit, they want control.
Okay.
I see a lot of one-car relationships, she don't want him to drive, just straight control.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, BCJ, you the fool that even got in that situation. Every time I see a bad situation, I look at the man because men determine relationships, women determine sex. Anytime a woman's dating a bum, I look at her as a bum too. So if you sleep with a bum, sisters, you a bum. If a man is dating a bum, it's because he's a bum. Because you attract exactly who you are. Because a man won't stay with a person like that. There's no way in hell I would date a woman that's disrespectful. When I hear people say she's mad disrespectful, because you're the clown. You allow it. Anytime a woman disrespects you, it's because you allow it. And that's a harsh reality. When you tell a man that they don't want to be accountable, let's have a real conversation. Any man that gets violated in a relationship, he deserves it. Any man that's in a relationship that gets violated is because he deserves it. Because he didn't put his foot down. Because ain't no real man gonna stand for that. There's no way in hell. I'm not ever gonna forgive a woman for stepping out. She step out, she stays out. When a woman steps out on me, she stays out. That's it. There is no forgiveness. There is no, let's work this out. You did it. It don't matter. Because when we got back together, you forgave it. I didn't make you forgive me. You chose to forgive it. I would never forgive that. If a woman steps out, she stays out. Period. If a woman don't know how to see me as the king I am, I'm going to make her sit down so the woman behind her can see the king I am. And I bet you the woman that's behind her is going to enjoy her life better than the one that was standing up first. The moment she sits down, the other woman sees the king that I am, and her life get better than your life. Because a lot of times, again, I have to say this on record, a lot of people believe they're more valuable than they actually are. They're narcissistic. They think, two people coming together to build is the most healthiest relationship that anybody can have in today's society. Two people that can pay their own bills. Two people that can cover themselves. Two people that actually bring something to the table. It doesn't matter, ladies, if you bring more if a man brings more. Because if you look at it, when you was building your life, you was building a life for you to be able to enjoy your life. But now, when you meet somebody, what you're supposed to do is bring what you've made to the table and we're supposed to share it. But if I wanted a Ferrari, I got myself a Ferrari. If I wanted a mansion, I got myself a mansion. I'm not going to look at a woman got to get me a mansion. She should help me sustain this life. She's supposed to help me sustain. A woman is not supposed to pull from your value. She's supposed to add value. So the men that are going for broke with these girls, they're bums. Because you're weak. Because if a woman taking premature resources from a man, how is he ever going to build anything? How is a man going to ever build when you're taking the resources prematurely? You're going to little girls. Little girls always want something. Grown women are content. Grown women care about attention more than they care about your finances. Let me say that again. Grown women care more about attention than they care about your finances. So if you're dating little girls, she's going to care about your finances more than attention. Grown woman, she can buy her own stuff. She already has a Rolex if she has a Rolex. She has what she has already. She can get it for herself. That's why nobody can buy me a gift, because anything they give me, I can get it for myself. That's called being grown. But if a woman is sitting there trying to live off a man to build her life up, that means she a bum. She a whole bum. If a woman is expecting a man to give her a whole life, she's a whole bum. That means she could have been a bum for 20 years and woke up one day and said, I'm going to find a man that's going to take care of me and give me the life that I never built for myself. That's a bum, whether male or female. So listen to this. A man or a woman, they never built their life up. They're 30 years old. They're looking to meet somebody to give them a life. That's a whole bum, whether male or female. That's a bum. That's a bum. Like, you don't even should be dating. You need to go get your life together. Come on, we're talking logical. But again, when you have these conversations, some people get offended. But the reality is, of all things is, a man should be sustained by himself and a woman should be sustained by herself. One day a lady asked me, would I date a woman that worked at McDonald's? I said, yes. She said, well, why would you do that? I said, if she's comfortable with living a McDonald's lifestyle that she settled for, then I don't mind it. I can understand if you choose to date a doctor, why she would expect a certain lifestyle. Because by herself, she can give herself a certain lifestyle. But you can't be no goddamn Checkers cashier talking about I want a man that drives a Lamborghini. You sound like an idiot. Because the reality of things, you haven't done nothing with yourself. You seen that video of the man that worked at McDonald's and the girl that worked at McDonald's, and she told him, you don't make enough money for me? He said, you don't make enough money for your goddamn self. And she thought he was a bum. He said, no, I work here full time and I do Uber Eats. She said, so what? And he's in college. And guess what she's doing? All she's doing is working at McDonald's. And she's so sedity and so high valued in her own head. All she works is at McDonald's. He works at McDonald's, he do Uber Eats, and he's in college. He sounds like he has a plan. He has potential to go somewhere with his life. But the little girl who all she's doing is working at McDonald's, she thinks she's so high diddy because she got a stinking wig and some dirty braids under her stinking wig and thinks she's some value. This is what we got teaching these kids. Throw makeup on the ugly face. Throw a wig on the ugly face. Throw some dirty clothes. Throw some nice clothes on a dirty dude and he think he clean. This is what these people are. Listen, since I was a kid, my mom told me, if you take a dirty dude and you put clean clothes on him, he's still dirty. If you take a broke dude and you put expensive clothes on him, he is still broke. That's all you're seeing in today's society. A bunch of people who are lying to themselves because of the fact that they're insecure about their reality. A harsh reality is two people coming together to build. It's beyond sustainable and obtainable. But two people who thinking they're gonna leech over one person is basically gonna make the table lean to one side so much that it tips over. Look at this, this is a table. And you put so much weight on one side, the other end eventually tumbles over. A table is supposed to be balanced. So when we say we bring something to the table, in reality, most people bring nothing to the table. They're actually the reason why the table keeps falling over. Because they put in too much on one side of the damn table, whether male or female. A man is supposed to balance out a woman. A woman is supposed to balance out a man. So whoever told you the opposite, they created a false propaganda. This is why so many people are going to die alone. Did you see that poll the other day that said most women nowadays are going to die single and childless by like 2045? Like 2045, so many women going to die. They're going to be babyless and single. And the sad part is, somebody's miserable mother taught them to say, you know what? You don't need a man. There are people right now who are sitting in the house miserable. Miserable. You want to know how you know you're miserable? And ladies, I want y'all to keep it 100. We having a real conversation here right now. I go back and forth. I talk about my men. I talk about my women. I am fair. But watch this. Go to your little single friend and make up a lie. Watch this. Tell her you and your man just got into a fight. Watch how fast most single women, you know what they're gonna say? Girl, I wouldn't tolerate that. Girl, I would leave him. Meanwhile, that girl that's telling you that, wish she had a him. She wish she had a him. Most women lie to each other. I'm keeping it 100 with you. Most women lie to each other about their lives. More women are in competition with each other than men are in competition with men. More women are in competition with each other. And you know how you can validate this? Ever see your girl go out with her friends? She dressed the nicest she ever dressed in her life. But when she go out with you, she look like a bum. She look average as hell going out with you, but go above and beyond to go out with her friends. That's how you know they're in competition with each other. It's in competition. And when you look at the girl's picture, look at everybody trying to look their best. But then if you go ask their boyfriend, when you take her out, do she dress like that? They're going to say no. She come out looking like a rag. But when she go out with her girlfriends, she bought a whole new outfit, new everything to go out with her friends and plans it because they're in competition with each other. It's just what it is. But when you tell them this, they get offended. But life is a reality thing, and I live in it. I don't live in delusional. I don't live in no delusion. My mind is set on reality. I see what's what, and I call it what it is. And the people that get offended is because they are what it is. Let me say that again. I live in what it is. I don't create a false reality. Most people live in this false reality, living in the false what it is. I live in what it is. I see what it is, and I tell the truth. Most people are offended of the truth because they've been taught by low IQ people how to think like low IQ people. Low IQ hates to be challenged. Low IQ people hate to be questioned. There's two people that hate to be questioned is liars and low IQ people. Those are the two people that hate to be questioned. Let me say that again. Low IQ people and liars hate to be questioned. The moment you question them, and I'm going to give you a third one, a narcissist. Those are the three people that hate to be questioned. Anytime you question them, they get defensive. That's because they're full of crap. They live in delusion. This is the nuance of today's society. And we have to learn how to navigate around these idiots. They won't open a book, but they'll open up TikTok. Right? Let's go on something and learn. If we're going to open up a social media app, let's learn something from it. Let's educate ourselves. I've known people who learned real estate from being online. And I know people who actually became foolish by being online. I know people who open up apps and learn real estate or learn something significant by being online. And I know people who got online and became foolish. They became foolish because they dumbed themselves down listening to people that don't know what the hell they're talking about, nor do they have the receipts. Because today's society is all about an opinion. You have people who have no children telling you how to be a parent. You have people that don't own homes telling you how to own a home. You have people who have bad credit telling you how to have credit. This is what the social media thing has done. And these same people are the same people that's telling you how to have a relationship who don't have relationships. You have the most single people online talking about because I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. Girl, you probably haven't had a man in 13 years. Boy, you haven't had a girlfriend, a significant girlfriend, because a true relationship is about what you built. So I don't care about how long you've been together. I care about what you built together. Let me say that again. I don't care about how long you've been together. I care about what you built together. So when a man and a woman are together, they haven't built anything together. There's two idiots together. So you can tell me you've been with your girl 10, 15, 20 years, brother, but you and your girl ain't got nothing going on. You're two fools. You're two fools. What have you built together? Y'all just stayed together. Maintain struggle. That is diabolical for a man and a woman to maintain struggle forever. And this is an issue we have. There's some people that they done smoked something and it messed them up. They crazy. They lazy as hell. They got laced. A lot of people got laced. A lot of people got laced. Their minds is crazy. I asked a kid the other day, and I'm sorry to say this, people hate when I say these things, and I love saying it. When in this history of society, and I want you to answer this. Both of y'all, all y'all can answer this. In the history of the U.S., when have you seen substance abusers become wealthy?
Only rappers, but that's it.
Are rappers wealthy?
No.
Let me ask you a next question. What rappers are wealthy? Kendrick Lamar?
Probably Drake, Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa. I mean, it's only a few. It's a handful. Not every rapper is wealthy.
So
50 Cent.
Let's eliminate celebrities because most average regular people aren't celebrities. They aren't rappers. They aren't entertainers. They aren't athletes. Regular people who work regular jobs. How many of them become successful abusing a substance?
None.
But everybody believe I'm gonna get high all the way till I get successful. This is how crazy society is. You open these apps and you got people smoking, and the person you're following is the person that's doing the worst in the classroom. The person you're following is the person that's doing the worst in the classroom. A lot of times people will question me and I say my receipts are bigger than yours. Now I can talk arrogant like that. They're gonna say, oh, he's talking crazy. No, I'm talking truthful. But again, if I talk like that, now I'm being arrogant. Sometimes I do believe that there's people that when you're confident, your confidence disrupt their insecurities. So a confident person can disrupt your insecurities when they talk that talk. We have receipts on this side. We can validate what we're saying. You can call your financial advisor and have me sit with him. And he's gonna say, that boy know what he's talking about. Call your favorite financial advisor, DM me right now, let me have a conversation with him. Or her. They're gonna say, you know what he's talking about. Because again, our culture has been so caught up in this foolishness to the point where we're actually losing because of the fact that we're so caught up in foolishness. We're worried about all the wrong things. I'm gonna tell y'all something on record. I want y'all to hear this really well. Families are, if they're not together, you don't build wealth. So everybody talking about wealth, wealth is built through families. I hope y'all understand that wealth is built through families. Wealth is built through families. There's not enough hours in a day for one person. So the only way to actually create yourself is by having people who share your lineage and your bloodline working together. That is your first team to be investing in. And then your second point is the woman or the man you marry and date. That's your second family that you're building. So if you're a tree, right? You're a tree, which is your first lineage. This is your bloodline. The branches are your mate that you attach yourself to. And the next branches are your children and who they date. That's how you build wealth. It's a mentality. But if you have a tree that gives you bad fruit, the whole apple, all the trees are gonna be spoiled. But some people believe they're gonna get wealthy being alone. And that's a false reality. I ask people every day, are you worth it? What makes you so special that people feel they should run behind you? What makes you feel you so special that people should go invest in you? What makes you so special that people are gonna sacrifice? I'm gonna tell y'all something, ladies, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want you to hear this too, Sister Soldier. When a man has his life together, I'm keeping it 100 with you, and I want y'all to hear this. A man with his life together come with very, very, very strict rules. Very strict rules. So when these women say they want a certain guy, I'm like, that man is very, very disciplined, and he ain't going for the foolishness. He's not going for it. The men that are willing to accept your foolishness is because they don't have their life together. They need you to live there. They need your money. They need you. When a man has his life together, he has rules. And it's just what it is. It's life. So when my sisters tell me they want a certain type of man, you got to be a certain type of woman to get a certain type of man. But if you ain't going to listen to that, then you the fool, right? You the fool. Because again, that man comes with structure. That man comes with discipline. He comes with expectations because he doesn't get to his level being a fool. A man, I'm going to keep it 100, and somebody going to get offended, but I like ruffling feathers. Ladies, if you had to compare women to men, right? And most of these girls, based on their finances, a lot of them they're considerably broke. Black women have the highest debt in the history of U.S. between student loans and credit card debt, right? Secondly, they brag about their degrees, and most of them only use their money on looking like they got more money than they actually got. Most men go for broke trying to keep up with a woman. And it's a fact in their materialistic ways. The expectations, the vacations, the reality. So a lot of the times, you complain about the guy you with, maybe you need to look in the mirror and see that you're too goddamn expensive in your own head. Because you think you Beyonce, and you ain't even say. You think you Beyonce, and you ain't even say. God damn. That's the culture. Two broke people he's trying to do the best he can, and you want red bottoms. You want red bottoms, but you're still living at the bottom. You want red bottoms and still living at the bottom. You want an expensive bag with, you don't even have the amount of money that bag is worth in your account. This is the sick culture we live in. We live in a sick culture. And we have to accept this. And if we don't accept this is not a normality. But anytime you call out a woman, I'm the problem. But if you call out a man, you're not the problem. I call out men and women, it is what it is. We waste our money on foolishness to look like we have what? Money. You got a person right now to go buy an expensive bag to go show off to a girl. That's weird. You have a dude that'll buy some expensive sneakers to show off for a man. I don't even like men. So I would never try to show off for a man. It don't even make sense. I don't care. Because the reality is you should be trying to show off for your damn kids. You should be trying to show off for your future self. You should be trying to impress your future self. You should be trying to impress the person that you, when you old, he can look back in the mirror and say thank you. Because there's a lot of old people that's gonna get old and they're gonna look at their younger self and say, I hate you. I hate you. There are a lot of people right now who are gonna get old and they're gonna look in the goddamn mirror at their older self and they're gonna hate their younger self for putting them in this bad position. And that's the truth. And again, I ask this question. Are you even worth it? Why would I want to put my time into something that doesn't even put their time into themselves? We don't want to educate ourselves. You know one of the dopest things I've seen? I seen a couple one time, Tyler. It was so dope. The man went to school. He got his degree. And then the wife, he paid for her to go to school and she got her degree. And at first, you know what they both was doing? They both was working at a furniture store. He said, I'm going to go back to school first. Let me get my degree. And you know what she did? She took up the slack and paid more of the bills because he was working more. And then he became a nurse. And he did the same thing to her. And then she became a nurse. And they both got their degrees and they living great. You know what most women would say? I ain't doing that. But why the hell do you want a person to be with you when you don't even have a teamwork spirit? You going into a relationship talking about what you is and what you ain't gonna do. So you need to be is and by your goddamn self. You need to buy your goddamn self. Because the reality is you can build with two, then you can build with one better. And anyone that don't believe that, they foolish. And they're gonna say, oh, you can't, somebody say you can't find that was it because you in the wrong, you looking in the, you fishing in the wrong oceans. I bet you I'll go see where you at. They at the gutter places. You're looking at, listen, your bait is not good. You over there fishing in the shallow water, of course you're gonna get smaller fish. A lot of people go do something called low-hanging fruit. She dressed half naked, she twerks online, her booty's all out, and that's what you go after. And then you complain about the lifestyle that you get from that. There are a lot of classy women who don't give a damn about they following. Their page is private, and they do not care who on their page. But who they gonna have on their page? Friends and family. They're not responding to your DMs. They don't give a damn about all that. They focus on their lives. But again, I don't like using religion, but I'm gonna do it. The Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. The word find means an action word. You have to find a wife. Every woman ain't made to be a wife. Let's call it what it is. Every woman ain't made to be a wife. Every man ain't made to be a husband. Every man is not made to be a husband. Every woman is not made to be a wife. But as soon as you say the word submission and the woman gets defensive, that means you already know she ain't made to be a wife. As soon as you say the word provider and the man gets defensive, he is not made to be a husband. As soon as you say those terms, you already know what it is. If I say, yo, are you submissive? I ain't no goddamn dun, dun, dun. What do we have here? A bitter, broken woman who's mad at life, who's gonna make you fight for something that she'll never give you. Leadership is a cooperative thing. In order to lead, a person has to be cooperative. But you cannot date someone that's not cooperative and think you're gonna force them to be cooperative. Men spend tons of energy trying to fight with little girls who were never taught how to be cooperative. You saw your mother rebel. She saw her mother rebel against every man, so guess what she does? She rebels against every man. So why would you even entertain somebody like that? Why would you even entertain somebody like that? Right? And when you listen to people, they get offended. Go ahead, Tyler.
So just trying to understand. Call in. You saying a lot of things right now. I want you to call in and express yourself on the phone. Call in.
Who's the person?
Just trying to understand.
Trying to understand. Call in right now. 516-253-1150. Sometimes, you know, when you say these things, some people get defensive.
She said you've been talking for hours. You haven't said what you offer yet.
I bet you I offer more than your man. And that's a fact. If it's bothering you, you know you got a lot of channels going on right now. You can keep going. But something can keep you here. But again, I don't have to hurt somebody's feelings by telling them the truth. If this message don't apply, then let it fly. Say it again. She called in? Tell her call him right now. Somebody said it. Hit dogs do howl. They do. And somebody getting their feathers ruffled. We can have a conversation. Caller, what's going on, caller?
What's up, praise the Lord? What's up, brother? I like your channel, brother. My name is Brent. I'm from Rochester, New York.
I appreciate you,
I
King.
thank God for you.
Thank you, my brother.
These black women are no good.
Don't say that. Some black women.
Okay.
Don't say all.
So,
Okay.
I say 35%.
That's your
I
statistic.
say 35%.
Okay.
Let me tell you my testimony.
I'm listening.
I have a little. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes. Caller. But we can't generalize everybody. There are good and there are bad. When I say every woman is not made to be a wife, that's what I said, Kinsey, right? Every man ain't made to be a husband. That means we have to be very, very selective with who we choose to get in the bed with. See, the problem is y'all cry about marriages, but y'all get in the bed with anybody. And y'all take on all them goddamn demon spirits, and then you wonder why you're carrying all this negative energy in you, because guess what? You get in the bed with anybody and everybody. That's really the truth. Y'all having sex with anybody and everybody, and then y'all get mad at the energy that y'all bringing back to your homes. You're mad as hell because guess what? That man that you thought was gonna be a long time only hit it for a short time, and then you mad at the results. It's the truth. Learn how to keep your legs and your penis in between your legs. Keep your legs closed and learn how to keep your penis in between your pants and learn people first. When you're looking for a relationship, don't rush into bed. Let me say that again. When you're looking for a relationship, don't rush into bed. Everybody's humping so fast that you run right past the red flags. Let me say that again. Everybody's humping so fast that they're running past the red flags. And when you run past the red flags, then you complain about what you would have seen in the beginning. You would have saw it in the beginning if you would have opened your eyes. Go ahead. Caller, what's going on, caller?
Yeah, I can't find your channel. This Brent still. Yeah, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you my testimony.
Okay.
After she got married 2009, 2010.
Okay.
And she wanted to control the man. I wanted to get my grandson getting his car. My mom put it in my name.
Okay.
So she asked about her, can she put in her name? My grandson said, get his ass, tell him to get his license and put the car. I got the car. So I did 2010. She hollered, she wanted a divorce. I live in Rochester. And I've been in a relationship. I had a little woman since my divorce.
Okay.
That was 16. You know why? I'm 53 years old. I don't have time for the nonsense of BS. I've had baby mamas come and get out. I've paid child support this last year. God bless you. We closed that case last year, April. I was paying for 26 years.
Wow.
God is so good to me. The Bible says, my parents always tell me, my brother, God bless a child who has his own.
Yes.
Listen to your own. God bless a child who has his own.
Yes.
I got my own car in my name, just like I told you in my chat. My own crib in my name.
Yes.
Never, let me tell y'all young men something. Have your own shit. You not French.
Yes.
Have your own apartment.
Yes. Yes.
If she tell you to get out, go. The Bible says, flee. Resist the draw near to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. See, these females hate Ephesians chapter 6. They hate Ephesians chapter 5. That means chapter 6 is honor your mother, your father, baby, be on her. But Ephesians chapter 5 talks about the sanctity of marriage.
Yes.
They hate that. When I was on Facebook talking about that and TikTok, I got blocked so many times.
Wow. Wow.
Even here on YouTube, they hate me because of brother. They hate the food.
You want something though? I do believe a lot of men inherit something called like a savior's complex because someone didn't save their mothers. So a lot of them go look for women they gotta save. Like for me, for instance, I was looking for a woman that owned her own home because I own my own homes. So I was looking for a woman that was educated because I'm educated. I was looking for a woman that had something called yoked. I don't look for something that's beneath me to make me feel superior. I want something that is yoked, and that's how I operate. And I'm good at saying no.
Be not unreal.
Yes, and not I know how to think with my top head, not my bottom head. That's the issue with a lot of men.
I learned my lesson.
But a lot of us, we all.
I learned my lesson.
But listen, you live, you learn, you grow, and you can't hold yourself accountable to what you didn't know. But when you know better, you do better.
And then they get mad because these brothers go get white women. The white women, they with black brothers. They submit to them. They mad because they go marry black or white women, and they get mad. That's their business. Like the sister in the chat said, where you get that gold from? I told her that's his business. That's his money. You ain't pay for it.
She looking for a dad.
If you ain't paying my phone bill, don't go through my phone.
100%. But you know. That's why I appreciate you when you dating. As soon as you date, I say take your time. Take your time. What are we rushing for?
I'm 53. I don't got time, Doc. I'm 53 years old. I don't got time.
No, what I'm saying.
I'm pushing 60.
I don't care if I'm pushing 100. If it take me 10 years to learn it, I'm gonna take 10 years.
I know it. I appreciate your channel. God bless you for speaking. She ain't mad at you for speaking out. You know what I'm saying? That's like me going against Trump supporters and Black MAGA. People hate the truth on social media.
100%.
They hate the truth. You said it. I said it.
But you see in the narcissism. The narcissism is real. People that hate the truth are usually narcissistic.
That's the devil.
It is the devil.
Young man, that's the devil. That's Satan. There's black Satan and there's white Satan. Puerto Rican Satan, all Satans and all races.
Wow.
You keep spreading the truth, I'll follow you. I'll follow you. Follow me and I'll follow you. I have my own channel called Prime Minister Chris Channel. BCJ. That's my channel. I'm a new host. I've been a new host since November. Let's keep spreading the truth, brother.
I appreciate you.
See, you making the devil mad. You are making Satan mad. Satan isn't come to these women, my brother. They want to be the leaders. The Bible didn't call them to lead.
But a lot of these men got to show. A lot of these men got to show good leaders too, though. I'm being fair. A lot of these men got to show good leaders too. We can't just throw them under the bus. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I don't care if you work at McDonald's. It's a job. I don't care if you work at Burger King. It's a job. I don't care if I clean nightclubs for a living on the side. I have my own business.
That's what's up.
I work a job. I've been hustling all my life, young man. But how you got that car? How you got that apartment? Clean a nightclub.
I work hard.
Mopping pets off floors. Listen, bro. It's jobs to watch us. It's jobs to people are just lazy. They don't want to do nothing.
100%.
These young men don't want to do nothing. And 100%. These females accept them.
100%.
We were talking about that earlier. I said, man, let's ask this man to collect the plate.
Listen,
you keep spreading the truth, bro.
I appreciate you, King. I appreciate you, King. Thank you so much, King.
You, brother.
You too, brother.
Let me pray for you. Father, have the ask Lord today.
That's what's up, my brother. Listen, give it up to him one more time, guys. People don't understand, like, you know, they're going to throw stones, they're going to throw rocks, they're going to throw everything. At the end of the day, I don't get offended. I don't get mad. Because one thing I have to understand, we all have to understand is when you go back to a good reality, you don't care about somebody getting mad at the fact that you're telling the truth. I go back to my good reality after I finish. But the reality is a lot of people got to go back to their negative reality. So therefore, they're projecting about how they feel about their reality onto this platform is because it's making them feel ruffled. Because in order to become a better version of self, you have to be humble enough to learn. But a lot of people lack humility. They're very insecure. You can't be humble and secure. You can't build a woman that's not buildable. You can't lead a woman that's not leadable. You're wasting your time. And ladies, a lazy man will never be a man. A lazy man will never be a man. The Bible says if a man doesn't work, the man doesn't eat. And the fact of the matter is that y'all out here dating those men who don't want to work. They get the little scamming money, they do the drug dealing, and then you get mad at the fact that you get the results of those kind of women. You got to look at life. That man goes to work hard, he does what he has to do. That is a man. A man is willing to put his pride aside because of the fact that he want to put his family in a better position. That's a man. That's a man. But when you sitting there saying he's not good enough because of the fact that he don't make or he don't earn enough, he's not good enough because he don't earn enough, that means you're going to find yourself by yourself. And I'm going to call it what it is. We got to get back to reality. Our grandparents' relationships worked because it was two people who loved each other and respected each other and brought everything to the table together. And they built as one. They were a unit. Nowadays, a lot of y'all going to realize one day, and you're going to be the older woman or the older man peeking out the window mad at the young people on your block making noise because you're miserable as hell, depending on somebody. And you know the scary part is? The difference in our grandparents' generation, at least they had a home to go to. A lot of y'all don't realize, getting older by yourself, most of y'all won't be able to afford a home to go to. Because nowadays, the cost of living requires two incomes in order to build it. So a lot of y'all gonna be in an old folks' home complaining about the old folks' home. Because the reality is most people are not gonna own a home because it's too expensive these days to do it. And when someone is not in their truth, most people don't own a home. And they can lie to they blue in the face and say, I own my home. Yeah. Okay. Most people don't. I know I'm the exception to the rule, so I'm not gonna make me the rule. But most people need two people to buy a home. The entry point at this point is just too high. And it's one thing to buy a home. It is another thing to be house poor. You don't want to be in a house where you house poor and you're literally struggling to stay in a home. We talking about owning a home and still getting to enjoy life. We talking about owning a home and still being able to take vacations. We talking about owning a home and still being able to eat out. We talking about owning a home and still being able to dress nice. We talking about owning a home and still drive a nice car. We talking about that kind of lifestyle. The average person that buy a house, they're gonna literally be in their house struggling. What I'm saying? Somebody said Listen, a lot of times when people say how much money they make, they be lying. I'm just letting y'all know that. Just so y'all know that. You'll never see me on here talking about how much money I make. Because you don't just volunteer how much money you make. That's like especially that's your first conversation, you jump to how much money you make. Most people that do that be lying, just so you know that. You know what I'm saying? People ask me how much I make, I say I'm poor. Because I'm far from the goal I want to get to. I'm far from the government, I'm far from the goal I want to get to. When y'all get to the levels y'all want to get to, guys, we got a lot of work to do. Let's start working on ourselves. For anybody and everybody who want to do a one-on-one with Q the Boss, hit the link in the bio. Right now, the link in the bio, you can do a one-on-one with Q. If you're looking to do a one-on-one with me, hit the link in the bio. Secondly, I just released a new book. It's called I Am My Worst Enemy. I Am My Worst Enemy. The link is also in the bio. Click the link in the bio, the LinkedIn, not the LinkedIn, the link tree. Click the link tree, you can find a new book. The new book is called I Am My Worst Enemy. A lot of people are their worst enemies. I'm telling y'all right now, tap into the real, and you'll see that we can change our lives. And I say what we do right now, a lot of people right now live in a delusion. We got to change the culture. When we sit down and have these conversations, a lot of people get defensive, they get offended. But if you can hear it, you can fix it. The first step to any level of recovery is admitting that you have a problem. And there are a lot of people who are scared to admit that they have a problem. And if you can't admit it again, you can't fix it. So today I sit here and say, let's start working on ourselves. And I'm asking you, what makes you worth it? What makes you worth it? Right? What makes you worth it? You got to work on yourself. I think the best people that should be dating is people that understand that teamwork makes the dream work. If you have that mentality, you already have the first great mentality for a healthy relationship. Teamwork makes the dream work. But without the dream, without the team, nothing will work. Till next time, guys. Don't let that go over your head.